Hey, welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm pretty much gonna share with you, a few common mistakes of startup entrepreneurs, when they're starting their business. Now, most of these here, I actually made these mistakes, and some of these mistakes are, some other people who I know that have made these mistakes when they were starting off with their business. So, there's lots of mistakes, of course, that you're gonna make as an entrepreneur. Man, you're always making mistakes. Essentially, this is how pretty much you learn. However, these are pretty much like the most common that I see, and I actually wanted to share those with you. So the first one is overthinking. Now, I know when you're in the beginning stages, there's lots of things that you don't know. And I understand this because, when I was first starting off with my agency, there was lots of things I didn't know. So I was just overthinking things. I pretty much, was overthinking, what is the next process or what is the next step that I should be doing? Or I was thinking, just to kind of, give a real example. The type of stuff I was overthinking was, would people take me like seriously while I'm on sales calls with them? That's pretty much what I was thinking. Would people take me seriously? Why would someone spend their day, block out their day to spend 45 minutes on a phone call with me discussing business? Someone who doesn't have any credentials, and I pretty much put them on a pedestal, and I put myself down here. That's pretty much the type of thinking I had. I was overthinking everything. But however, a key thing I recommend in order for you to combat that is simply just to continue taking action. All right, so that's pretty much like the best thing I advise for that specific one. If you're overthinking it, don't overthink it. Just take action, and that's pretty much once you start taking action, you will pretty much gain that momentum forward that you need in order for you to pretty much continue growing your business. So the next one is waiting until things are perfect. Now, here's the reality. There will never be a time when everything's perfect. It's never will be. So this is actually something that when I first started as well, I actually when I was pretty much setting up my funnel, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted my VSL to be perfect. I pretty much I remember when I was recording that VSL, I recorded that VSL at least 25 times. 25 times just because I wanted it perfect. And as I kept on recording, I kept on getting frustrated. I kept on getting frustrated because it didn't come out as I had wanted to. The sound wasn't there. I probably stuttered in the video. I mispronounced a word, or whatever it was. I pretty much there was something that wasn't perfect. So I had to pretty much shoot the entire thing again. I said, no, this isn't good. Also, I was thinking, like the slides I had on there wasn't good. So I wanted to change it. And the reality is there's never going to be a perfect time. So again, this is kind of like, pretty much like the same thing as the previous one, but just continue taking action. There will never be a perfect time. All right. So that's the second one. The third one is not being consistent. So again, when I was starting off my agency, I would occasionally send people messages here and there. I would send maybe like one day I would send like 50 messages. The next day I wouldn't send any. Then the next day I would send probably like another 50. And it would be like on and off. Or sometimes, just like posting content. It was just on and off. I pretty much was inconsistent. And in order for you to pretty much, get, that snowball effect, as that compound effect, as, people like to call it, is that you have to take consistent action. And in order for you to pretty much, reap the rewards of your efforts. It's kind of like going to the gym. Going to the gym, if you're planning, let's say if you're wanting to lose 20 pounds, You're not going to lose 20 pounds off of just going to the gym, let's say maybe 5 days within 1 week. you're not going to lose it. It has to be consistent. You know, over time, you're going to lose pounds by pounds until eventually you hit your goal and have lost all those 20 pounds. With the same thing within business. Let's say if your goal is to make 10,000 per month. Now, in order for you to get the 10,000 per month, well, how many clients do you need? You need to first define that. How many clients do you need, and at what price point? How many calls do you need to have? This is assuming you already know what is your close rate. So if your close rate is 20%, so this means if your goal is 10,000 and your close rate is 20%, this means you need at least 10 phone calls in order for you to close 2 clients. And let's say if each of those clients you're charging $2,000 per month, you're at $4,000. So this means you probably need about 10, 20, 30, 40, 2, 4, 6, 8, at least 50 sales calls in order for you to convert at a 20% and you will hit your 10,000. Let me see if my math's right. 2, 4, 6, 8. Actually, no, 30 calls. Sorry. Yes, it's 30 calls. So 30 calls, assuming you have a close ratio of 20%, and each client is going to pay you $2,000, you at least need 30 calls. All right. So in order for you to get that, you pretty much have to be consistent. And how do you be consistent? You're setting messages. You're trying to set appointments, right? So you can have more phone calls and you can get to your goal. The next one is not knowing your audience. So this is another thing. When I was pitching my services, this was at the time when I was pitching to financial advisors. I didn't thoroughly understand their industry, and I was yet trying to sell to them. Now this is a mistake because, of course, over time as you bring on more clients, you're gonna pretty much find out what works, what doesn't work within the industry. You understand their industry, you understand the language. Pretty much you will know the industry in and out, right? However, it's important in the beginning for you to do your research as well, and also have those conversations with your prospective clients, or just a pretty much if you're in the information gathering stage, maybe you could have like a phone call with someone, and you could play as a curious college student who wants to know more about their industry. You want to see if they're what they're doing for marketing, or just asking any questions in regards to those. So the point is, in order for you to pretty much effectively sell your services and create good offers, you have to know your audience on who you're selling to. So that's very important, because I remember when I was having conversations with financial advisors, I thoroughly didn't understand their industry. So however, as over time, I began to understand it. However, it would have helped out tremendously in the beginning if I would have done my research and understanding from pretty much from the get-go, right? And then the next one is not working on revenue generating activities. Now, this is important because, ultimately the thing that drives your business is money. So if that's what ultimately drives your business, you should focus on revenue generating activities. So 80% of your day should be focused on anything that involves, prospecting, sales calls, follow up, right? Anything that's going to pretty much, get your calendar with an appointment, get a sales call, follow up. So because this is ultimately what's going to drive your business forward. All right. So I remember when I was getting started as well, I didn't focus on it. I was focused on a lot of things. I was focused on my website. I was focused on the VSL. I was focused on, so I was sending messages as well, but I was focused on a lot of things. I remember I was even focused on how to try to fulfill for a client. And I didn't even have a client. So this is what I was sometimes, you tend to focus on the wrong things. So this is why it's important for you to focus on revenue generating activities. So find what those are and focus on those. The next one is excuses, complaining, or being negative. Now this is another one. because sometimes things are probably are gonna be hard in the beginning, which is completely normal. However, you just have to go push through that, push through any obstacle. However, when you're making excuses, complaining, and being negative, it's a good way in order for you to pretty much pretty much not be motivated for you to do the things that you should be doing. Because here's what happens: when you're constantly being negative and giving excuses, you're not taking full ownership of the things that you should be taking ownership of. So for example, let's say if you didn't get that sale, you had a sales call, however it didn't close. Well, what was the reason? Was it you didn't ask good enough questions? You didn't thoroughly understand your prospect business? You didn't try to empathize enough with the prospect? You didn't create a good enough offer because you didn't understand their industry well? And pretty much when you're starting to put excuses, this will pretty much blind you on what it is, pretty much prevent you on you pretty much finding out what it is that you need to start working on for your business. To give you an example, I remember when I was starting, I used to say the financial advisor's niche sucked, because I couldn't close them. So I said, no, this niche sucked. So however, I looked back within me and I found out it's I just didn't understand their industry. Also, it was because I didn't know how to sell. That's the real reason why I couldn't close. But I was pretty much blaming everything and anything, except I wasn't pointing the fingers at me. And this is I think it's a crucial thing for you to do. Stop making excuses, complaining, and being negative. And then the next one is not taking feedback and learning. Now this is important because as an entrepreneur, you're never done learning. You're never done taking feedback. So whatever it is, like whether it's from your market, where you're having conversations with prospects or recurring clients, you always want to take feedback on how you can make your offer better, your services better, and ultimately just to become a better entrepreneur and a better person. Because here's the thing about entrepreneurship: you should always strive to become better, at least 1% better than who you were yesterday. So you're always optimizing, always getting better. So whatever it is, you're always striving to get better, which is actually one of the reasons why I actually read hundreds of books, because I'm always wanting to get better at whatever it is, understanding people better, having better relationships, become a better leader, becoming more familiar with business strategies, sales, marketing, or whatever it is. I'm always trying to get better. And I think this is very important for you to implement within your business as well. Always trying to become better. So this way, as you become better, you can give better services for your clients, a better experience, a better outcome. All right. So these are the 7 key mistakes most startup entrepreneurs make: overthinking, waiting until it's perfect, not being consistent, not knowing their audience, not working on revenue generating activities, making excuses, complaining, being negative, or not taking feedback and learning. So make sure you don't make those mistakes. As always, take action, and I'll see you into the next video.